Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us on our Awakened Wednesday. Today we have a very special guest joining us who is Soma ARah, and she is a Pleiadian channel, a galactic emissary, a Reiki master teacher, and an ascension coach. Soma, thank you so much for joining us this evening. How are you?
Hi, Julia. I'm very well and very much looking forward to this. I really enjoy all the group sessions I do with everyone, especially yours.
Yeah, I know your back is quite sore this evening, so do let me know if you want to take a break or if we should reconvene. Just let me know. And yeah, because we want to make sure you're comfortable. So yeah, so don't worry too much. I
Thank
thought
you.
we could just have a chat about some random topics tonight, and if we had any questions from our ladies group that they could, maybe ask you. Just generally talking about ascension and cosmic energies and what's going on with you and the planet at the moment. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? Are you working on anything particular, or are you getting particular messages coming through from Ashtar Command?
I have been having a lot of new information from Ashtar and also Jesus as well, because I do channel Jesus as well. Um, and my story is quite an unusual one because I had a lot of trauma as a child, but it ignited energies within me that allowed me to connect very strongly, very personally with Pleiadians and also Jesus. So I had those experiences, and now looking back, I view it more as a training ground more than anything. It was a training of different experiences and information, and I saw a lot as a child. I saw a lot of auras, and I would be looking in people's eyes and seeing their soul and getting information about them, and a lot of telepathy I had as a child as well. And so I was always very unusual as a child, and would talk about a lot of things until one day they said, my guides turned up and said, you need to stop talking now because they will lock you up. So I stopped talking overnight, literally stopped talking about everything I was seeing, anything I was seeing. And but they always kept me very safe, even though I did have a lot of trauma and experiences. And I was just doing a channeling today on another interview I did with Richard Dukan in America. And in the channeling, there was information coming through in a visual. So the way I work is I get the visual image and the telepathy or the download. And in this channeling today, I was receiving a message about something else that I was relaying. And then I was seeing an image about something else, and it was to do with deep earth and beings. And I didn't talk about the image. I was just relaying the transmission or download. But one of your cards came up just now before we
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Inner Earth card from the Gateway of Light Oracle by Kyle Gray. And it says base chakra strength and security laying foundations. But I thought, we don't really talk about what's going on in Inner Earth, and there's so much there to talk about, isn't there? Other realms of existence and other beings and technologies and things like that. So I thought it'd be great to kind of open that topic today.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Julia, because it's a subject that kind of is in the background at the moment, but I feel that that will shift and it will come to more the forefront, especially this year, mid-year to October is what I'm hearing right now. May to October, that subject or field there'll be new discoveries. There's going to be thousands of new discoveries over the next time, from now on into the future for about 10 years. There's going to be an influx of
Did you want to have a chat about the Egyptian discoveries recently? Because I know you already foretold that. didn't you? It's in some of your other videos where you're talking about what was underneath the pyramids, what's underneath the Sphinx that we're waiting to uncover. But you'd already seen it in your mind. So how do you feel about what they've uncovered?
I thank you for addressing that. I think it's amazing. I mean, some people would say that I'm not a genuine channel, and yet, and I'm not sure that is. I'm not sure if it's my appearance or in the past, very much to do with a lack of abundance, or why that is. Maybe it's the way I present myself, or I speak, or I have crooked teeth. I don't know what it is, but there are some people that would say I'm not genuine, and yet they have, and you know this, they have come up with premonitions or predictions rather of a couple of things that have hit the media. One of them being the landing in Florida. I think it was last year in February. They said that 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks before it happened, which amazed me as much as anyone else. And then recently they've been talking a lot about Egypt and the discoveries in Egypt. And they did say that within the next month, there would be discoveries in Egypt. And then I think the next week there was this new discovery, which just, again, amazes me. Because they've been telling me for years that, about Egypt and what lays beneath. And yet recently they've shared more information that has come to the public in a very big way. Everyone's talking about the discovery in Egypt. So
Well,
it's just,
I think even on one of our roundtable discussions that we do on a Saturday, I'm sure we'd had that conversation about it producing energy and, lights going into the sky. We'd all been talking about it. So that was before it came out about the technology and it being a power plant and all that. We'd all kind of seen it. And I remember saying to you, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like a portal access point and stuff like that. We'd all been chatting about it. And that's way before it came out into the mainstream media. So it's kind of cool to get those confirmations, I guess, in a way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's, excuse my French, but it's fucking wonderful, Julia. It really is. Yeah, it's wonderful that so many of us are honored and privileged to receive information in the way that we do about such important subjects and discoveries. And there's, when I had my experience with Jesus, it taught me that we all have that capability of connecting in with the likes of Jesus and similar like beings like Pleiadians, and the church has really kind of devastated humanity in the sense that it's taught humanity to believe that we are much less than we really are. And nothing else could be further from the truth. We are all able to connect in with the likes of Jesus. He's not exclusive to the Catholic Church or the Pope or priests. In fact, the Vatican is satanic, so nothing could be further than that from Jesus.
So I know Indigo Angel recently, one of her latest posts, she was talking about the Vatican literally opening up doorways to hell when they were doing the keys, and that's what they've done. And other people are talking about it. Yeah, remote viewers.
Yeah, the Catholic Church is satanic, as are the reptilian energies who work with the Vatican and the Pope and the whole satanic thing. And you just have to do a little bit of research and you'll see the images very clearly of demons and devils and yeah, all of that stuff is very dark. But yes, during this,
yeah, go on, sorry,
Julia, it's
no,
kind
you
of
go ahead. Yeah,
lagging a bit. Okay.
yeah.
So the message they were saying a few weeks ago regarding new discoveries in Egypt, the image I was seeing was of long, like hundreds of feet of, it looked like a tube of copper going down from the top to the bottom of the pyramid and underneath it. And it just looked like a long copper rod to me. That's how it looked. And then, of course, they were saying, and if anyone listening wants to go back and have a look, it'll be on my Substack, the recording of the prediction of the recent finding in Egypt. So when I was seeing the image, I was seeing the rods of copper going down in a line, hundreds of feet. And then I was seeing energy coming out of the top of the pyramid, which I've seen before, and also energy coming out of the sides, where it was connecting to other sacred sites like Stonehenge and Newgrange and other well-known sites, but also other less known sites, but all of them sacred, and some probably are undiscovered as well, on top of the surface of the earth. So maybe overgrown with greenery or shrubs or plants and things like that. I know I've seen pyramids in Egypt that are overgrown with shrubbery and bushes and trees and all of that. So that was one of the images I saw regarding Egypt. But it's just like it's Pandora's box times 1,000 with all the discoveries coming out.
Yeah, I mean, many people are not aware that a lot of these wars that are happening are on that 33rd parallel around the globe. So they're literally all in the same area with the same like technologies, and that's what the war's truly about. And a lot of people don't realize that until they start getting into like the geographics of it and stuff. And but how do you think the inner Earth stuff fits in? Are there light guys down there basically who are going to come out and make themselves known, or is it an advanced civilization down there?
I think it's very connected to the wars. I think there have been several galactic wars involving craft and technology where the Earth has been burnt. There's a section of the Earth, when you look at it, that is reportedly having been burnt, and I think that did happen. The Nazca lines, and I have seen technology has been shown to me over the years where it looks like a long staff or a long object where they're able to use this technology is used to create fire and high intensity heat and fires and destruction. It's a destructive weapon that's technology that is used by alien.
I don't know if you've ever watched Stargate SG-1, have you? The
Okay.
TV show? Because they have that weapon that you're describing, they have that in Stargate SG-1.
That's a real weapon.
Yeah, so a lot of these things that we see in TV shows and movies, it's all soft disclosure to get people used to seeing these kind of artifacts and advanced technology and Star Trek technology. And people don't realize it's really out there. It's really, there are ships, there's off-world tech that's already available on this planet, just kind of hidden away. Yeah.
And the wars are important with the what's the name for them? The deep earth beings. There are beings that live in the earth. There are caves, caverns, tunnels, cities, monumental cities that are beneath the earth, and beings that live there. The recent discovery in Egypt is just part of that. But so during some of the galactic wars, especially at certain periods in our history, there people, I say people, beings, people, extraterrestrials, Pleiadians, many different races built beneath the earth as a port of safety during some of these galactic wars and the horrendous atrocities that were occurring on the surface of the earth. So these cities, these tunnels, these caves, these caverns were lived in because of the galactic wars above the earth that were visible at that time. and the galactic wars have kind of moved into a higher dimension where we are no longer able to see them. And many people also at the same time ceased being able to channel because of our DNA was lowered and changed and manipulated. So we stopped being aware of the galactic wars, and we stopped being able to channel and heal and do all the things that we used to be able to do, which is coming back into our DNA and consciousness, and we're beginning to do those things again. But the Middle Earth and the beings that live in the Earth, I believe there are several different races that live deep in the earth, and some perhaps just below the surface, and some in the cities, some in the tunnels, some in the caves. Not all of those spaces, the caves, the tunnels, the caverns, the cities, not all of those spaces have been abandoned. Some of them are still lived in. And I did have an experience on Holy Island when I lived there, where I saw a very small man. He must have been about 3 foot, and he came up from the earth. He walked up from the earth and he looked at me, and then he just kind of disappeared. But he was very small, 3, 4 foot, blonde. He had a beard, kind of looked a bit like a dwarf. So and that makes me question the DNA of dwarfs and where do they originate from, because I do believe they are slightly different in a species kind of way, not in a bad way, but just different. And also with there would be remnants on Earth of beings that live underground that look very small and are dwarf-like, and we have dwarfs on Earth.
Yeah.
We also have very tall human beings on Earth, which I believe are remnants of giants. So, and we've been lied to on such a mass scale. Like, it's no wonder, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, when you look back at the Tartaria and you see those old photos, and there's like massively tall people, you know, like 10 feet tall or more, where it's interesting what happened to everything, where did it go? And there's a huge cover up, wasn't there? And I know somebody recently, they were talking about how a mudslide had been prevented recently and stuff like that. So it's like they're trying to reset the planet, but then it's like getting cancelled out each time. So, but it's interesting about Inner Earth and thinking about, because I know that I've had it confirmed that my DNA has got that kind of element of Tuatha De Danann DNA, so it's that Fey elemental energy there. And as having that DNA, I'm meant to be able to open portals to other realms within the earth to access, you know, those elemental beings. And a lot of people talk about the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot. And I do believe I had an experience with Bigfoot when I was a child, and whereas I can look back now and see that's what that was, because I always had this fear of the green man, and I was on a farm here on the Wirral, but I remember seeing something in the bushes, and it must have been a face of the Bigfoot. But for years I saw the picture of the green man and it scared me, and I couldn't realize why. And then now I've put it together, that's what that was. They're just there, they're just watching over, you know, because they're really intelligent, benevolent beings, most of them, aren't they? Yeah. So
They are
how do you see the inner Earth contact happening, do you think?
very slowly, actually. I think the UFO landings and proof of UFOs and aliens will come first. I think that's going to come this year in 2025. And that's been predicted by through me by the Pleiadians, and also other channelers as well are saying the same or similar, where we will have landings this year and evidential proof of alien existence. That's not to say that there won't be fake landings, because I think that is on the cards as well, but I think there will be genuine ones.
So who do you think is going to come forward? Will it be the Pleiadians, or who's going to come in first?
I'm not sure. I think intuitively, I think it would have to be positive easy looking ones. So perhaps the Pleiadians, or perhaps Syrians or Lyrans. I don't think it
Yeah.
would be the Greys, because
No.
that would scare humanity too much. So I think, I would hope it would be the Pleiadians, because I have
Yeah.
a strong connection to them.
Yeah. Mm. So I did pull a few cards here, and it was talking about energetic shifts, new information coming in, and the end of a cycle. So do you think? I'm trying to think who was talking about it. There was somebody talking recently about a big shift, a big end of a cycle. Is that how you feel?
Is it Kala Yuga?
Yes, yes, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
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 that came up today as well in the
mm,
interview channeling, during the interview, and they were talking about the it's exactly what they were talking about, the end of a
mm,
cycle and the Kala Yuga, and how everything is shifting, and all the negative agendas, which include the elite, includes the Rothschilds, includes the Illuminati, and the whatever you want to call them, all that kind of negative
yeah,
agenda, they are all coming to an end. And it's a new earth, it's a new dawn, it's a new time, it's a new era.
mm,
It's all systems go, everything is falling away, and we are rebuilding. We are.
yeah, yeah. Do you think about about the 144,000? Have you heard much about that? It's like, is it a limited number of starseeds that are on the planet that are suddenly gonna, take action and band together and become that team light? Or is it something else that's going to happen to kind of overcome the darker energies on the planet?
I think it's what you first said, Julia. Whenever I see that visually, I see a group of us, and you are
Mm.
there, of I see us as coming to Earth as a group of ET beings full of light, with shields and swords and
Yeah.
armor, and we look like warriors and dressed appropriately when I look at that image. And we are coming to Earth, we're coming from above, and there is 144,000 of us, and I do believe that. There may be slightly more. I don't believe there's less. I think that's the number that is needed. And I
Mm.
think we are doing it now. Since 2019, even before then, we've been connecting slowly. But 2019 kind of speeded everything up, where we really got online. We picked up those microphones and laptops and phones, and we started using our voices and saying, I do not consent. I'm not here for this.
Yeah.
It's something bigger.
Yeah. It's
Something.
amazing how people are finding each other as well. And we're finding each other all across the planet,
Yeah.
and it's like, even though I'm based in the UK, I still gravitate more to the American side of things. And I'm uncovering now that, so many lives in or me versions in other kind of existences have all been in America and stuff like that. And that's why I gravitate over to that way and find those connections. But it's funny how we're all, finding each other. So I found you in an American group, which then led me to somebody else and somebody else. And it's insane, isn't it? How the
Yeah.
right group, the right tribe comes forward at the right time to support each other. Yeah, so it's amazing. So it's kind of like those soul contracts are kicking in. And do you think that we have soul contracts together then? Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
much so,
Yeah.
especially the 144,000 starseeds on Earth now. I think we are all reconnecting, because we're here for this specific lifetime. For
Yeah.
this lifetime, that's why we're here. We're not just here to for yeah, that lifetime is the lifetime now is very specific and very important, that we connect in this lifetime and help to manifest within in humanity to raise the collective consciousness in this lifetime.
Yeah, I know. Originally, I mean, a lot of people have the same kind of issue. So you think, oh, this life, this planet, and it's awful, and I want to get off the planet. And then once you kick into that kind of ground crew warrior mode, you start to realize actually it's really important that I'm here in physicality. There's so much I can do just by, walking down the street. Your energy might activate somebody or something that you say. So for a lot of starseeds waking up and thinking my life's been so traumatic and awful, it's because it's the training that you needed or whatever. And it is hard for people who are newly awakened to understand the importance of being the ground crew, of being the 144,000 right now. Even, the crystal kids and everything. It's really important that they get the support that they need at this time.
All,
Oh,
yep.
yeah. So yeah, because I mean, I pulled cards, and at first it was obviously the pyramids there, but it's saying stellar gateway activation. So we've got these higher chakras that are coming online, and there's so much more than people realize. How do you feel? Do you think we're getting new chakras as well, or the chakras are actually reforming into like the one major chakra that a lot of people talk about? Have you noticed anything like that?
I think they
People's
inevitably changing. And I think that is to do with the crystalline human being, where it's not just our chakras that are changing, we are physiologically changing. Our blood, our skin, our hair, our teeth, our DNA, our vision, our abilities, our chakra systems, our auras. We are turning into a crystalline human being. We are moving into a new dimension, a higher energy, awakeness, a higher developed, evolved consciousness. And everything within the universe is changing. It's not just us, it's the plants, it's the trees, it's the sun, the moon. The moon is kind of an exception because I don't believe it's real. I believe it was made by negative alien beings.
yeah,
But the planets, the suns, the stars, the everything is changing. The air we breathe is changing. The soil, the Mother Earth is changing. She is also going through a birthing process. And there are different stages to a birthing process. There's the insemination, there is the 9-month period, then there's the birth, then there's the afterbirth, then there's the whole process of motherhood and nurturing and being a good parent, and especially
yeah.
the first time, everything will feel strange.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen if they do get out the Ark of the Covenant? I've had a few people talking about it. I don't know, remote viewers know exactly where it is, but is it all bad?
No, I think that's a good thing. I think it's opening a door to another discovery that is positive, that will change the direction of humanity. So I think I see it as just as being another discovery.
Yeah. I keep getting crystal skull cards coming out at the moment as well when I work with this deck. So I'm hoping that they're going to start kind of gravitating and crystal skulls coming out, like unearthing themselves even, and I think that would be amazing. Once we start to access that kind of oversoul of crystal information, be awesome.
Wow, what an amazing time to be alive, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Pretty
wonder if
amazing.
any of your group has questions, Julia.
So we have Lee. Have you got a question, Lee? So I know your energy is all over the place at the moment as well. Lee sleeps for long periods of time, and then she's awake for like long periods of time. She's greatly getting affected by ascension energies. And let's see.
No, not really. I'm just sort of allowing it to wash over me as per normal.
Yeah, because I mean, I was pulling cards for you before, Lee. We got rebirth. Rebirth was coming in, so I think there's a lot of new energies coming in for so many people now. and it can be quite confusing at times as well. Yes, I mean, I just generally say to everybody, grounding, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So acceptance and just being,
Yeah.
allowing that energy to be.
Yeah.
I think, you know, with myself as well, I tend to resist new energies. But yeah, I just need to learn to go with the flow more and allow the energies to be, and just be
Yeah.
present and know that, trust that we are divinely led and protected, and the energies are going to change, sometimes within minutes,
Yeah.
or days or weeks or months, but we are in uncharted territory, really.
Mm.
Because the great awakening of humanity that we're in has never occurred before on Earth in the way that it's happening now. Not with
Yeah.
the technology we have. It hasn't happened like this before. The,
No.
not in Lemuria, not in Atlantis. Each one was unique, and I'm sure there were others as well. But each one is unique. And this time we have an extra set of DNA codes. The Starseeds have an extra set of DNA codes that we didn't have in Atlantis, that they talk a lot about. And they've only released one of them through me, they've spoken about one of them through me, which is the base or root chakra and grounding. They've yet to still talk about others, and I don't know if they're putting that information out there with other channelers or other people. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I know you've got a new group on a Tuesday. What happens on the Tuesday group, Soma?
It's a monthly group on the 1st of every month. There's
Yeah.
a new group called Cosmic Starseed Academy Tribe.
Yeah.
And that's at 7 p.m. Irish time on the 1st of every month. And it's specifically only for people that have subscribed to my Substack, whether it's yearly, monthly, or as a founder. And the monthly is at around €11. So it's very affordable. It's a private group for those people.
Yeah, brilliant. So your website is somaarah.love, so people can book in directly with you for readings, or if they want to catch up. And do definitely have a look at your Facebook and your Substack and your YouTube as well. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And I hope to catch up with you really, really soon as well, so we can go into a bit more detail and maybe do a channeling as well. So thank you so much.
I'd love that. Thank you, Julia.